Corcoran, head of social media for Ryanair. Thank you so much for taking the time. Appreciate it. It was kind of serendipitous how this happened through LinkedIn. How you doing?
I'm good, sir. Thank you very much. And listen, first of all, I think you guys deserve a wee shout out for a couple of reasons. I really enjoy the podcast based on the tone and how you guys are coming together. You've just kind of took me through yours and M's background. So, I really enjoy it. I discovered you guys on TikTok on a For You page as the algorithm started to serve me loads and loads of social media marketing video content. And again, I just started to digest. So well done for setting up the show. I'm really intrigued with where you'll take it, and I'm honored to be on it. Thanks.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. Give the listeners something tell us your backstory. You kind of a Waterford man, am I right saying you're based in Dublin?
Waterford, Kilkenny man. I kind of had a bit of a time in Waterford, so as close to Cork as I can get to you guys. I would have studied health science, believe it or not, in Waterford Institute of Technology for 4 or 5 years, and it was kind of in my latter years of that when I figured out that there was no real jobs on the horizon for what we were studying for, that I started to get interested in marketing. And funny enough, I applied for my postgrad in UCC, but I deferred it and ended up going down the route of going up to Dublin. So studied a Master's of Marketing, long story short, got through the education system, was a bouncer in Waterford nightclubs and in Dublin for many, many years. Anyone who's familiar with the Workmen's Club, I see Riley's, they may even remember my face for good and for bad reasons. But I served my time very, very well. So before social media was social, I was the social guy in the front door of a nightclub. But yeah, look, once I finished studying, I went down the route of PR, and I was honored enough to get an internship in Wilson Harding on PR. Spent about a year and a half there. The great Sharon Murphy, who's leading out that PR agency now, was the lead in the consumer department. But what I identified, dyslexia and PR don't go very well together when you're writing press releases and dealing with some of the top journalists in the country. So she kindly, which I didn't know at the time, suggested I look for other marketing career moves. A bit disgruntled at the time with her. She was 100% right in her decision, and it was really good guidance. So that was the time when social media was starting to pick up in the kind of 20, 9, 10 years. We had brands like Diageo and Guinness who were kind of dabbling their early days within social media. And I just started to get a liking for it. One, the creative element of the platforms. Two, I started, to understand it better and where the opportunities lied. And three, it was the lucky days of social media where everything was free and you could reach everybody. Kind of continuing on that roller coaster then in the digital agency side, working for in the company of Huskies in Dublin, 80/20 in Dublin. And then I took the big step over to Paddy Power Betfair for 3 or 4 years, had an amazing time there, amazing business, amazing people. And now I'm honored to be sitting at the helm of Ryanair's head of social.
Congratulations first, that's huge. That journey's class. How was Betfair? Did you give, I'd say, because Paddy Power, obviously their marketing strategy is very cheeky, very fun. Did you have a lot of freedom in Betfair, or did you was it ticking the boxes?
Freedom to an extent. The challenge of being a brand in a group that is Flutter Entertainment and having Paddy Power as that number one brand, it was a challenge being the little sister of Paddy Power, because everyone expects or wants to be Paddy Power on social media as a brand, but they're the exception and not the norm. And it's a very difficult thing to do. Michal Nagel, who was leading it out for many, many years there, did an exceptional job of getting early advantage, having the ability to deliver content in an unfiltered way that many other brands could never do. And they got to very good heights and continue to do so now. With Betfair was a challenge because our target market was more for, I'll try not use the BS terminology, but what was called the core bettor, somebody who bets more than once a week, and not the recreational bettor who bet on Grand Nationals, Eurovision or any of these big events. It was somebody who was actually really into betting, and that was our audience. So that meant they were, one, a bit of an older demographic, two, a smaller market, and we were more a polished, refined brand compared to Paddy. So that in itself was a challenge, but a creative challenge that we had to overcome. And I was very lucky. We dealt with some huge partnerships and some huge names. When I started, I worked with Arsenal, Barcelona, Juventus, Sevilla football clubs. We had Ronaldo, Dimitar Berbatov, some of the greatest horse trainers in the world, and Paul Nichols, Gordon Elliott. We were absolutely stacked with talent and assets to deliver exceptional content, and we did our best to do it. And there were some really great pieces that we're very, very proud of. But yeah, it's an interesting landscape, an interesting category at the moment because of a lot of regulation that's happening in the world of sports betting and gaming. But I got a good opportunity to flex with big budgets and big assets, which is a bit different than what I'm experiencing now with Ryanair for the right reasons. Not that it's any way bad, but it's a completely different experience that I'm stepping into now. That almost, and this is I guess a good point for everyone who works in this industry, is you can't have the same playbook for everybody because it just doesn't work in that way. And many people in the landscape tend to try and do that right now with offering monthly content plans and all these things that just aren't fit for purpose. With Ryanair, it's literally I'm coming in and I'm ripping up every playbook and every piece of experience or strategic approach that I've done in the past, because everything we'll do here will be almost different. And like we can touch on some of that if you like. And that's good because I guess what our experience has given me is now I know what not to do for this brand and not go down the route of just trying to do a carbon copy for Ryanair is what I did with many other brands in the past. And not having that experience would not allow me to make that judgment call either. I would just probably go and take my blueprints and I'd apply it and possibly get decent traction, but not to the level of opportunity that lies ahead.
Yeah. Like in my personal opinion, I'd see like Ryanair style on a lot of channels, very guerrilla style marketing. You're reacting a lot of time. You're kind of responding to trends, like TikTok 1.1 million. Like your TikTok is brilliant because you just understand the audience you have. You're just understanding trends. What kind of number of people do you have on your TikTok team? Is it a separate TikTok team? What's the story there?
So we're I guess since I've come in, we're in a transition mode now of remodeling and rebuilding the team. But currently we have one designated person who takes care of TikTok. Can you believe that one person is delivering one of the best branded accounts probably out there in TikTok in the world?
I completely agree. Yeah.
That is doing something well. What's really good about what we've done, and look, it's not probably a way everybody will be able to emulate because one, we got early advantage on the channel. Two, we put somebody at the heart of the channel who knew how to speak to the audience. When you look at Gen Zs, putting someone with half a head of gray hair like myself into that channel to try and deliver TikTok in the way a brand would normally do in social media, you're going to fail. What we identified was a way to trend hop and ride the trend wave that is what grows TikTok's algorithm, using sounds to the best of their capabilities. Added to that, then we had somebody who can, one, create the content that people could understand by using those trends. Two, engage with the community on the actual channel itself in a way that speaks to Gen Zs and others. And three, we found a look that was ownable by us in plain face. It was simple by using a simple filter within the platform, but now we've created this identity that is synonymous, that even when other brands or people copy it, they call it out that you're copying what Ryanair do. And we're very, very lucky with that. And like, I can't take the credit for the origins of that because that started months before I came in, but we've got an extremely talented person sitting there that knows what they're doing and knows when not to do things as well. Because for some people, the volume of content they feel is success for TikTok. However, what we've learned is we're looking about 3 or 4 pieces of content we do per week, because we give about 24 hours to 72 hours for the actual sound to run its course. If we continuously publish more at that time, it'll get in the way of those 3 kind of key pieces delivering. Now, we will test that in time because there's some challenges that have appeared for us now that is, I guess we're reaching a small bit of a plateau, but we want to find a step change to try and continue the growth that we've done. The biggest one is the use of sounds and brands from a litigation point of view. We were lucky in the early days that we were classified as a content creator, and we were using any sound available to us with the creator library. And that meant any audio was available, so we used the latest trending sounds possible going. However, the big watch out for brands is be wary, record labels will come hunting for litigation, and it has happened a couple of times where we've got a slap on the hand. Now, you've got to be careful in that sense, and that's going to be the biggest challenge for us going forward, but we were lucky that we didn't get in, I guess, more trouble than what we did. We didn't get in much trouble. It was a case of that record labels came, requested us to take down the video, we take down the video. But that's because compared to other channels, the copyright around sound isn't clear on that platform. With Facebook and any other channel right now, you've got algorithms and you've got monitoring tools that will recognize that and warn you in advance of going live that you may be in trouble or it may get pulled down. With TikTok, that is not there at the moment. So it's a bit of an open playing field, and we rode that. We skated on the line for all the right reasons, and we got an advantage. Now our challenge is how do we do that in the absence of the latest sounds that are connected to some of the biggest artists in the world, and we have to avoid that now, and that's a big watch out for brands going in there, and that's a big challenge. So we're identifying other ways and other sounds to do that by, again, focusing on some of the other bigger creators in the platform and using their sounds to trend hop. The other challenge we have and opportunities, we've grown so well that now it's an opportunity for us to deliver original content. So what is that for us? And we're going to work hard in identifying that in the way that won't kill the channel and us becoming a normal brand on that platform, which we want to avoid. So look, it's a challenge, but an exciting challenge. And with the team structure, going back to your question, we'll put more resource into that now because it'll require good work. It'll require work to deliver the original content beyond more than one person, but also I want to future-proof the team that if that person, based on the awesome work that they've done, gets a call from a publisher or another content creator house and says, listen, we want you to work for us, we'll be very honored at that moment in time when that person makes that step because they've done an exceptional job and earned it. But if he or she goes, we need to make sure that there's other people in place to continue this journey for us.
Of course, yeah, absolutely. And then I want to chat about LinkedIn quickly because it's kind of to me it's obviously still untapped. I think LinkedIn is such a good playground, like for any business to kind of get involved in. With Ryanair, what's your approach to it? Are you going B2B there? Are you still B2C? Are you still kind of in the mindset, the playbook for LinkedIn?
I don't have an answer for that yet, to be honest, because that is, I guess, part of I'm 2 months into the role. So my job at the moment is unearthing our strategy for now and next. It would be foolish for us not to consider LinkedIn as a channel to reach customers because of the following we already have. We have 350,000 people following our LinkedIn account, and we are not utilizing that to its potential. So I do believe there's a job to be done to reach customers on that platform. And B2B as a recruitment channel is going to be very important for us because I don't think people realize the sheer scale of people that work for us. We have 17,000 staff all around Europe. 17,000 people is huge. So one, that as a way to recruit is important. Two, that as a platform to actually distribute content and distribute messaging is even more important because of those 17,000 employees. If they're accelerating a campaign that goes live or a message we want to reach people with on LinkedIn because they're the ones who are going to actively engage with it, more people are going to see it. And then we've got the other 300,000+ people who follow us for certain types of information. So I do agree. It mightn't be a channel for everybody from a B2C point of view, but I certainly wouldn't rule it out. We're in the aviation and travel industry, so whether it's business or leisure, it can or could be a potential good channel for us.
And just take it back there. Like I did a small bit of maths before I jumped on with you. 7 million plus followers, and that's not even including Twitter.
Yeah,
for you,
7.7.
7.7. Excuse me, sorry. That's including Twitter. So for you stepping into that role, like that's a lot of fucking pressure. And that's a lot of thing to go, right, I need to helm this. What was the initial feeling like you got the job, Mike? Here you go.
Oh, I love it because I've essentially been given a carte blanche opportunity here to take Ryanair on the best journey possible. Um, there's a lot of optics and eyes in the business on social because they see it as a good, strong reaching channel for us. And we live and breathe low cost as a business. And anything and everything about how this business operates is all about driving the price of the ticket down for customers who fly with us. So we live and breathe that in everything we do. And social seems to be a good opportunist channel that even with our marketing budgets, we are smart with how we spend and don't spend compared to other brands. So stick with me here now. So I might go on a bit of a tangent.
You're fine, go for it, man.
We're very lucky that most other brands in traditional marketing or social media have a job for brand awareness and to convert people. For us, we have an extremely strong brand that we are top of mind when it comes to probably airline and travel. And there's not a hard job for us to do in terms of being prompted from an awareness point of view. On the other hand, we've got an extremely good product in low cost ticketing and low cost travel. And whether people like our experience or not, we have an extremely good competitive product that people cannot not consider us when it comes to travel. One, because of our price, and two, because of our network and scale with over 220 something destinations. I sound like I'm drinking the Kool-Aid here, so apologies.
No, you're right.
Where I'm getting to with that is we have a middle ground between brand awareness and commercial activation or commercial acquisition that I have to try and unearth and untap. And that's what's really exciting for me. And that's what excited me about the job. The other thing is the no bullshit attitude within the organization to give us the freedom to try and do our best for the business on the channels. Many brands and businesses, you've got to climb through so many layers and ladders to get things signed off and approved, where we've been empowered as a team to try and win in this space and not be a corporate brand. And I had a session with our CEO last week, and I basically understanding his vision. If we talk like a duck, walk like a duck, and act like a duck, we're going to be a duck. So if we talk like a corporate brand, act like a corporate brand, and look like a corporate brand on social media, we're going to be a brand, and that's not what we want to be. So coming in with, based on your question, this doesn't scare me. This really excites me. Because I have an opportunity to do something different and apply some really interesting strategies and executions that will make us stand out on the channels and grow. The challenge I do have, which is what I need to do, is I need to educate the senior people in here on what that 7.7 million people and followers means. Just because we publish a piece of content, and again, this sounds very mansplaining for anyone who knows what we do, or you're not going to reach all 7.7. We have a job to do to break the echo chamber that we have of any highly engaged users out there who do follow us for the good and the bad reasons, and try and reach as many of that 7.7 and beyond as best we can. So while 7.7 sounds like a good number, that's a small drop in the ocean to the amount of people who travel in Europe at the moment. And I want to take people on an education journey within the business that, one, when we publish, not everybody who follows a specific channel on a specific platform will see that. And I need to get them to understand how we get there and do that. And again, two areas of that, which is very unique for not being a corporate brand, is how we try and build with community and how we identify really interesting subcultures to stand out and do different things in the channels.
You were ballsy, to say the least. You took this job 3 months ago. Like, there were still travel restrictions still in place. A lot of places closed down. Like Cork still doesn't have Ryanair back. You might give us a nod when will be coming back. But I'm just throw me a text. Throw me a text.
Don't worry, you'll see some form of $9.99 low fare sale for people of Cork. And you can fly Cork to Dublin the next time you're playing in the championship in Croke Park.
Done. With that alone coming into it, there's a lot of excitement, I'm guessing, in the building, in the office, that right, we're open, we're back in business, let's go ham hog here. Or is it a structured approach where it's like, let's bide our time, people are going to book, let's just, as you said, the 990, like, does mail campaigns fall under your domain? They do. Like, I would love to know the conversions. You obviously don't have to say it, but like, I'd say it's one of your highest things, conversions from mail, is it?
Email.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it
It's
would be
phenomenal. Like, yeah,
because the sheer size of our database
yeah.
is absolutely massive, and like we're talking the context of Ireland quite a lot, but people need to remember we're a European business, and
Mm.
we traveled to 225 destinations. We had 20 over, I think, was it 2,100? I could get this wrong now, but we had thousands of flights that went last month, and we're starting to return to, decent travel numbers and decent packs and seat numbers being filled. Taking on the job, yeah, aviation's all over the shop at the minute, but you've got to remember who's sitting at the driving wheel of this business, and Michael O'Leary. And again, this is not to sing his praise on a public forum, but prior to the business, I was just fascinated about him as a businessman and fascinated about how the business operated. And here's a great challenge he's put to us. Michael and the business are still confident that we will hit our target numbers of over 225, I think, million passengers by 2026 if we did not have a marketing or a social content team in place. And that is down to how we operate as a business. So again, with all the things I've spoken about, the challenge to us, what is the role of marketing for Ryanair to deliver on that? And to have that ability to project and run a business like that without the need for marketing speaks volumes. He understands and he appreciates good marketing. He's been the front and center of our marketing for years in how we deliver really good PR. But, Ryanair is healthy as a business compared to many others in the aviation industry. Most had to seek government support outside of Ireland to keep their national airlines afloat. Michael took decisions to keep the business going. He took decisions to identify ways to keep the business as lean as possible. But that wasn't second nature to this business. That's how this business lives and breathes all the time. And when it comes to, again, how healthy the books are and how healthy everything is, in the midst of a pandemic, Ryanair have been in a really good position. And now we're going to grow even further. And that's really exciting. So I never saw it as a risk when I did obviously my research and knowing a lot about how the business operates, and intrigued by Michael as a professional. So yeah, there was no concerns for me about how this is going to move forward.
Yeah.
All it's missing is traveling to America, but I won't say that in front of Michael. He'll give out to me. But that's the only gap. I'd say if we figured out how to do transatlantic flights at low cost, goodbye everybody else.
Dominating. Come here. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it. I've taken up enough of your time. I won't keep any longer. Again, thank you for the time, the knowledge, the expertise. Looking forward to getting that 999 for Cork. Just I'll keep you loyal to that. But I do appreciate it.
If it doesn't happen soon, you can talk to the other Michael and not to me. Look, I appreciate it. Again, we can talk for days. And look, if you ever need me to talk about anything else in the world, I'm always a Zoom call away.
You're a gentleman. Thanks so much.